This week on the show, Gary from Select Models. I'm model Roxanne Callie.
And I'm photographer Brian Fisher.
And this is TWiP GLAM.
Hey, Roxanne.
Well, hello. It's been a while.
It seems like it's been over a day since we sat in these chairs.
I don't think it's been quite a day.
Yeah, that's close. We have a fun little side segment today, not one of our normal portfolios.
Yes, a little shorter, but still going to cover some great information.
We are going to introduce you guys to Select Models, which is a great little company in the LA area that does group photo shoots, both in the LA area and far away.
And we've actually attended one.
We've been to one, which was great fun. We have a plan to go on another one or two next year, and we hope to take you guys with us.
Yes, please come.
So,
enjoy it with us.
With us is Gary from Select Models. Hey, Gary. How you doing?
Hey, Brian, Roxanne. How you guys doing today?
Great, thank you.
Fantastic.
How are you?
We're going to let people know that Gary's hard to nail down.
Yeah.
So we actually caught Gary as he's in the middle of his travels through faraway places. So if you hear a little music in the background, we find the Wi-Fi where we can.
Yes.
Gary, tell us a little bit about how you got into photography and then how you got into doing events.
Wow. Well, photography. My Uncle Frank got me started in photography when I was in high school. He was the official photographer at the Indianapolis 500 race car track.
Cool.
Unfortunately, if you YouTube Indianapolis 500 pace car crash, you will see a pace car crashing into a photographer's stand.
Oh,
150 photographers are falling down. My Uncle Frank broke his back, and at that point, he was paralyzed after working at the racetrack for 27 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that is some bad luck.
Yeah.
That
Did you take his
happened while I was
spot?
in high school. Well, here's what happened. He says, I want to thank you, Gary, for coming out to all the Thanksgiving dinners that you came out to. And you were the only one that appreciated my photography. And because of that, I'm going to send you like 5 cameras and 8 lenses and studio stuff, darkroom stuff, all kind of stuff I got in the mail from my Uncle Frank.
I mean,
so cool.
Sad situation, but great that you were able to benefit and use these things.
No kidding.
Yeah. I brought all that camera gear to school the next year, and the teacher said, hey, how did a punk kid like you get all this expensive gear? So I told him about my Uncle Frank's situation, and he said, well, we got jobs for you. You can shoot for the yearbook, you can shoot PTA meetings, you can do sporting events. So they started hitting me up with all these jobs like right away in high school. So that's pretty much what got the ball rolling for me.
That's wonderful.
And so that grew into hobby or profession right away?
Well, they started paying me right away in school, so it started making money with it right away.
And you knew that's what you wanted to do.
That plus, when I got out of high school, I got enlisted in the Air Force as an alert photographer for the United States Air Force.
Cool.
And started taking pictures, crashed buildings, burned down buildings, homicides, suicides, fires, all kind of weird accidents. I did that for 6 years in the Air Force.
Wow, interesting. That's crazy.
Our publisher-in-chief, Frederick Van Johnson, was an Air Force photographer. That's what sort of officiated his hobby into a career.
I should remember that, but I'm not very good.
I wish I had gone that route. When I look back on it, it would have been good.
Yeah.
I instead went straight to the taking pictures of people.
Oh, well, that's all right. I like it. Well, it sounds like they were taking pictures of some people, but they weren't so fortunate.
No, that's not really. I had the more lucky folks. So fast forward, what brought on the group shoots?
Well, I went to a group shoot about 27 years ago. It was conducted by a friend of mine named Mike, and I brought a model with me to his group shoot. And she says, well, you should try something like this, but see if you can find some kind of way to pay the models and invite only the models that you want to select. And she says, we should just call it Select Models. And I go, hey, that's a great idea. Her name was Heather, and she lived down in Temecula, and she was the first model I'd ever actually photographed.
Yeah. Wow, that's a long ways you've come from there.
27 years ago, yeah.
27 years. I thought I'd been doing group shoots a long time at 15 years. I thought I was old man on the hill.
No, apparently not.
I'm okay with not being the old man now and then.
So funny.
So we're going to jump right into, well, first let me tell you a little about my experience with Select Models. I ran into you on Model Mayhem, I don't know, it's been 7-8 years ago, and went down to one of your mansion shoots where you, I think, rented or borrowed a mansion down in the Hollywood-ish area. And it is one of the things that really opened my eyes. I'm like, ooh, this is kind of how I need to structure my group shoots. And I will admit, I took a long, hard look at how you were running things because I was very new to group shoots at the time.
Brian, you've done a ton of group shoots
I've done a ton since.
All of these fun portfolio jams.
So when the podcast came around, I thought group shoots have kind of an important role for introducing people and sharing knowledge.
Sure.
And since I know Gary, I thought be a good person to get in here. The first shoots that I want to share with people is the Waterworld shoots. Tell us a little about Waterworld.
Well, actually, it's the location where I live at. It's in Rancho Cucamonga, right off the 210 freeway in Milliken. And it's blessed with a swim-up bar, 2 jacuzzis, a water slide, some great interior places to shoot at with a lot of window light.
And very cool painted walls, I remember.
Yes.
Yeah. Free parking, and we have free chicken dinners for everybody at 4 o'clock.
Nice.
And we invite usually between 15 to 20 models and usually get about a 35 to 40 photographer turnout.
Yeah, that's huge.
I honestly walked in to the Waterworld and I'm like, I see why he chose this.
Yeah.
I can see where you're like, walk in, you're like, I will live here. It will be great.
Yeah. I enjoyed that too. There were some really fun locations in the backyard, especially. And the little gazebo is great. And there's like the ferns and not ferns, I guess palm trees mostly, but there's some greenery where you can kind of look like you're in a garden.
Yeah. Even though it's not, physically like acreage or anything, it's nice that it has like all of these little pockets where you can take and work with a model and maybe one other photographer in one little spot. And you're not really burdening the other people. The actual density of models and photographers is pretty high, but you don't seem to be crawling all over each other.
Sure, yeah.
And that's good. And it's cheap. It's really, really affordable.
Yeah, I usually try to keep the photographer costs somewhere between $60 and $80.
That's amazing.
And, keep the price down.
Yeah, I spend that on dinner. I probably owe you extra because of how much chicken I ate. Now that I think about it. No, wait, you left early, so I'm covered. I had hers.
Early.
We can't let the chicken go to waste.
Oh my
No
God.
way.
I was sitting there doing something else and I watched this giant silver platter of food go by and I'm like, I am in the right place. This is my place here.
This is heaven.
I got to say it was a great time. So to keep moving quickly, our second location it's the one that we're both looking forward to.
Yes, the cruise ship.
The cruise ship.
I would really like to go on that.
The next one is October 29th through the 4th, and I don't think we're going to make this one. We're going to have to wait till the spring trip, whenever that gets scheduled.
I have too many things at work to do.
Yeah, but this is brilliant. It is a BYO model trip. So if you're a photographer, you just say, I need a model to go on a cruise. You pay for the model, and
usually they'll show up. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's funny how good the models are when you're like, I'm giving away a cruise. I'm giving away a cruise.
Yeah, who wants to come?
Exactly. Well, this is going to be our 11th cruise boat photo shoot coming up in October. And we had one with 30 models and 30 photographers, and we pretty much took over the ship. That was a blast.
It was fantastic. Is it always the same cruise line, or do you sort of skip around?
Well, we've been using Carnival Cruise Lines for 11 years now.
Wow.
And we go to several of the beach locations in Mexico: Cabo San Lucas, Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, La Paz, fabulous beach locations that have waves, a combination of rocks and sand. And we hit a lot of resorts. On the October 29th cruise, we'll be going to a place called the Grand Miramar Resort in Puerto Vallarta. Fabulous place with infinity swimming pools. And all we got to do to use this place is just buy lunch. And they're inviting us all there to just have a free photo shoot there. It's great.
Fantastic.
That is great.
And the beauty of being on a cruise ship is like, we have spouses that need to be entertained. Mm-hmm. And I suspect you can always go, honey, go enjoy the liquor. And we'll be back when you start turning a little rummy-nosed. And
I don't know if that would work for your wife.
Oh, she's...
Well, you know what she's got?
Oh, yeah?
Comedy shows. She's got comedy shows she can go to. Okay. She can go shopping at the mall.
Yeah.
There's all kind of like karaoke situations. There's like 3 jacuzzis, 2 swimming pools, water slides. There's so much you can do.
That is good.
Fun.
And really, for somebody who is married, that is a blessing because... I mean, a lot of times, Roxanne and I, we take off and go places and are like, well, we should probably find something for my wife to do somewhere.
Exactly.
But no, the cruise ship seems like a great time. Is the price variable depending on the trip you guys take or what's
this particular cruise coming up in October is pretty reasonable. You can get your ticket, your model's ticket, for about $1,500, and that includes you in all 4 of our photo shoots over those 6 days. And the photo shoots are only about 3.5 hours long, so unfortunately, for the rest of the day, you'll have to jump in the jacuzzis, go swimming, do water slides, and just go to the comedy shows and just have a bunch of fun.
Yeah.
Well, and I would imagine that gives you a lot of time to sort of mix and match with the models where you can say, this person, when we're done here, let's go take a few pictures elsewhere.
It's true. Actually, too, what we do is we organize the captain's dinner every night at 7:30 in the grand dining room, and everybody sits around one really large table. The table sits about 18 to 20 people, and we put all the models and photographers around one table, and we talk about all the photo shoots that we've done and all the photo shoots coming up. And every night, that's potentially a steak and lobster dinner. They bring you out a big menu. It's a 5-course meal. You can have everything from chicken, steak, any kind of fish.
Speaking my language.
The vegetarian people will be happy. There's like lots of fruits and vegetables. It's amazing. The food is stunning. I always come back weighing about 3 or 4 pounds more than when I left.
Perfect. Do you break it up where you kind of like organize the cabins where you like all the models are in one group and all the photographers in another?
Here's what we do. On the first night, we get everybody together on the first introduction dinner, the first night we get on the boat, and we ask everybody, are you content with your room arrangements? And if not, we get everybody together, swap rooms, put people in rooms they're going to be happy with the other people, and then that's the way they stay for the rest of the cruise.
Nice.
Cool. Fantastic. So I have different priorities than most people. I'm looking around going, I'll bet that guy doesn't snore. I'll choose that one for my roommate. Well, that, again, October 29th through November 4th is the next one. And providing you can come up with a model, I guess it's kind of a space is unlimited if you can get a ticket for the boat. That's true. And actually, there's still about 30 rooms left on that cruise. So there's still quite a bit of rooms left available. Fantastic.
People can still join if they want.
So
awesome.
We will have... before anybody panics that we're not saying exactly where to go, in the description on both YouTube and the website will be links over to the thread on Model Mayhem. And you'll have contact information to get this going.
Yeah, that way you don't buy tickets on the wrong cruise.
Or don't call me at home. I don't know.
We also have an event page set up on Facebook, too.
Oh, even better.
Perfect.
Even better. Yeah, we'll have the Facebook event, which you can sign in as being interested. I happen to know because I did. And then you will get the updates as they come out, even though most pathetically, I can't make it this time.
Oh, it's not so pathetic. You have a lot going on in your life.
I suppose. So the one last category to go over, which is your location shoots. I saw on your page some like Mount Baldy shoots that were sort of medieval themed. Do you have any of that coming up this year?
Well, our Waterworld shoot's going to be the last one before the cruise, and then we're going to structure some theme events coming up spring of next year. Those will be primarily up at Mount Baldy at a really nice kind of like private reserve location. The nice thing about where we go in Baldy is you don't need permits, you don't need insurance. We use like a private residence location to shoot at. It has like streams, waterfalls. It's a stunning location, and you'll see some of those pictures on my
I haul a travel trailer to shoots with me. Is there space for me to park?
The road's kind of skinny going up there, but if you got a little bit of ground clearance, you can make it.
Okay.
Sweet.
I can be cautious. I have come to where I love having my little travel trailer with me at a photo shoot. It just expands what you can do. Mm-hmm. I have to be careful not to mention it at every podcast. That will get old.
Yeah. I know. You're so proud of it.
I love that thing. I just don't tell my wife why.
Yeah. So Facebook is where you have a lot of your events posted, it sounds like. And then on Model Mayhem as well.
We also have a meetup group, Southern California photo shoot events.
Okay.
Perfect.
And between Facebook, Meetup, and Model Mayhem, try to get the word out as much as possible. I also attend the camera swap meet, which is parkandcamerashows.com. Oh. And I was out there last weekend with a table set up and a couple models, and we recruited probably about 35 photographers to future shoots that were just there at the camera swap meet. That place is a gold mine for photographers.
You know, that is something that we as a community tend to get very pocketed, where you get somebody who's like, well, I shoot landscapes.
Yeah.
And you say, wow, maybe you should try shooting people. And they're like, I wouldn't know how to get into that. And that's a real value of the group shoot, is somebody who's like, I have only ever taken pictures of plants. You can show up, give it a whirl, no responsibility to, it's not like there's any pressure. You go take some pictures, see how they come out.
Yeah, get a practice round.
Eat a good meal.
Yeah.
It is good times.
Absolutely.
True. Not only that, when you show up at a select model shoot, you got guaranteed models. You won't have, you won't have any flake situations where you hire a model and they don't show up. Mm-hmm. You'll have 15 to 20 models to work with guaranteed at every shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So, we will have all that information on the blog post, and if you're interested, sign up with the various websites, get a hold of Gary. He can get you details if you're definitely interested in attending, particularly the cruise ship, as we would love to fill the cruise ship. That would be great.
That would be so fun.
And then when the next cruise ship shoot is coming around, we will be talking about it on several podcasts. Mm-hmm. Because on the one that we intend to go on, we think it would be great to have a bunch of the fans of the shows going with us.
Yeah.
A great big group thing.
We would love that.
And if you are a photographer who's like, oh, that's great, I have money, I don't have a model, or I'm not super model savvy, both Gary and I can recommend models that are interested and well worth your time.
Absolutely.
True. Not only that, I have probably 6 or 7 models right now that still want to go on this cruise that are looking for photographers to sponsor them. So if they want to come in October, I can refer 5 or 6 great models to them.
Cool.
Nice.
We're going to move on to a listener image.
Which we love. Thank you for sending it in, Kyle.
We love the image, and I'm now going to attempt to destroy Kyle's last name. Nishioka?
I would imagine. I guess we can't be corrected now because he's probably listening.
I have a solution to this. Firstly, the image is great. It's one of these fire dancers.
Super fun. I love how the flame travels.
The flame travel is great. I love that it's an implied. I love that it's got kind of the spiral effect.
Especially at the beginning, like right that first little... Yeah.
So Kyle sent me a link to his portfolio and this image, and it was great. And then I looked at his portfolio and went, that's really good.
Yeah. So something different too.
We are lining Kyle up to be a guest on the show.
I hope that he does.
It's really, his work really is quite impressive, including the fire dancing, but beyond that, he does a lot of neat stuff.
Sure.
So Kyle, let's get this thing nailed down and get you an episode.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Gary, so much for being on the show with us. And what's the best way for someone to get hold of you if they're looking to...
Yeah, like for models.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Models especially.
Are you more of a Facebooker or a Model Mayhemmer or...
I'm on both of them pretty equally. I've got on the events forum for Model Mayhem, I have both the cruise boat shoot and the Waterworld photo shoot listed on the events forum. And then if you add me as a friend on Facebook, the spelling on the last name is A, B as in boy, I, G as in George, T as in Tom. Go ahead and add me on Facebook, and I'll send you the links to the events on Facebook as well.
Perfect. And again, that link will be there for you.
Perfect.
Again, thank you, Kyle, for sending in your photo.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Gary, for coming on the show and sharing your events and hopefully enabling us to have a great time with a bunch of our fans out in the middle of the ocean.
Right. And then we don't have to organize it.
It seems like, I've organized enough things. If I can get that off to someone else.
Yeah.
and Gary, on that same note, we are setting up next year with the UT photo shoots in Utah. And we are going to try to coordinate with you to get you out to Utah shooting in the middle of nowhere, having a great time.
Yes, salt flats and all that.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you might like it.
Yeah.
Thanks again to everybody that heeded our call and left some feedback on iTunes.
Yes, especially if you also put photography in there. That was perfect.
Yes, that really does help. Hopefully they will start populating this week.
Yes.
And then we will never speak of it again.
Yes. So just this beginning part.
If you want to get a hold of us, if you want to share your work, jump onto any of the episode links at This Week in Photo and fill out the little form at the bottom. Tell us where your work is.
Yep. And we'll check it out.
We'd be happy to check it out. We read every bit of feedback, and we try to get back to everyone when we can. It's not always easy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We both have day jobs, too.
I thought we were going to tell them this was our full-time gig.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
it is.
that's all we do.
Full-time, yeah.
Again, thanks, Gary. Thanks, everybody. And
see
we'll
you
catch
next
you all
time.
later.
Yeah, see you next
Sounds
time
great.
on
You
TWiP.
guys take care.
TWiP GLAM.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.